Alright, so for section 6.3, we're going to look at a concept that we actually looked at in 6.2, but it's called separation of variables. And so it's just another integration technique that we get to develop general solutions and particular solutions in differential equations. Okay, so first off, let me kind of show you an example of separation of variables and what it means. So we'll say this is example 1. So let's say that we have a differential equation x squared plus 3y dy dx, and we'll say it's equal to 0. So to find out if this is separable, and by separable I mean we can put all of the things with x's and dx's on one side and then all of the things with y's and dy's on the other side. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to subtract x squared over, and I'm going to say 3y dy dx is equal to negative x squared. Now I can multiply by dx, basically is what's happening here. So I'm going to multiply by dx on both sides, and I get 3y dy is equal to negative x squared dx. Okay. So then this would be separable, okay, because that's the first thing that we have to decide before we can do this, is if the differential equation is separable. Okay. Let me show you an example of one that is not separable. So let's say we have y prime over x is equal to 5x squared y plus 4. Okay. So again, I'm trying to group everything with y's and dy's on one side and then x's dx on the other side. Well, if I multiply over by x, all right, then I get y prime is equal to 5x cubed y plus 4x. All right, I'm just going to do some stuff here and just see if I can ever separate these. So let's subtract over. That gives me 4x there. All right, there's nothing I can divide out. I can't divide by x. I can't get rid of my dy dx, which is this y prime here. Okay, so because there's nothing that I could do to truly separate it, then I couldn't do anything with that and would have to find another way to integrate that. All right. So now let me just show you a couple examples of some of this being used with the integration. So let's say that we have, let's go with dy over dx is equal to 7x over 4y. Okay. So by cross multiplying, I get that 4y dy is equal to 7x dx. All right. Well, I'm going to integrate both sides. And so when I integrate this side, I get 4y squared over 2. Okay. Here I get 7x squared over 2. And I'm going to say plus c1 here. It doesn't really matter where you throw in your constant, so I'm just going to put it in there. All right. Now, there's a few different ways to write this, and this is the way that actually number 2 on the homework is written. So if I multiply through by 2, since 7 over 2 doesn't really look that pretty, if I multiply everything by 2, then I get rid of my denominator, and this constant here is still just a constant. So what I'm going to actually say is this is 4y squared equals 7x squared plus c. Okay. Since constant times 2 is still just a constant, right? All right. Your homework represents this particular question by subtracting it over. Okay. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. If for whatever reason that you subtract it over and like have it is equal to c, and it counts it wrong, just let me know. Because regardless of the order it's written in, it's the correct equation. Okay. And the reason that I wanted to mention that is because on the other one that we're going to do here, so let's say example 4, it does it a little bit differently. The concept is still the same, but it does it a little different. So let's say that we have y squared y prime is equal to the sine of 9x. Okay. Just remember that y prime is the same thing as saying dy over dx. So I'm going to bring my dx over and say y squared dy is equal to the sine of 9x dx. All right, now when I integrate both sides, I get y cubed over 3 is equal to the negative cosine of 9x over 9 plus c1. Okay. So now if I multiply through by 3 here to get my y by itself, then I'm going to have y cubed is equal to negative 1 over 3 cosine of 9x plus constant c1 times 3 is just c. Okay. So your homework represents this one in this format. Okay. Again, if you have any questions on anything, please just let me know. I'm happy to answer them. And like I said, if the homework, if it marks something wrong, just let me know, and we'll go from there. All right. If you have any questions, let me know, and have a great rest of your day.